Hi everyone, and welcome back to Efficient Gaming. Today we're going to be covering the new Monster Week, but first let's have a quick talk about the, what I would call abysmal mess that was last week's quests. So, last week was the first week that I haven't actually finished the timed tasks, apart from the week where I finished it but wasn't able to claim it because of their ongoing errors. It was due in part to the fact that I did not want to spend hours and hours out every evening just for the off chance that I got one or two monsters. It didn't seem worthwhile for me to spend that much time to get those rewards. So basically, after the work that I did to get you guys the video footage, I didn't bother going out after that. Now I've heard, and this is a theme that I've seen in previous weeks, that a lot of people suggested that the spawns on the last night were significantly increased. Now, that's all good and well for them doing that, but not everyone can go out on the last night. People might have commitments, they might have things they need to do. It's not a good general practice, I think, for Spocko to be doing this in general, because it should be enough spawns to complete the event throughout the whole week. I don't mind having to go to quite specific biomes to encounter certain monsters, but when you get there, I feel like the spawn rate for the rare monsters should be a little bit higher. So out of all the monster weeks that we've had, I've had no problems completing the common ones or the legendary ones that we had over Christmas. The spawn rates for those seemed appropriate for what they were, at least from what I encountered. Not everyone has had that same experience, and I understand that, but at least from my experience, the rare ones are always the ones that need more spawn rate. Just a little bit. It doesn't have to be a huge amount more, just enough that you don't have to go out searching for hours every day just to complete the event. I think 5 or, oh god, that's even too much. I think maybe if you were to spend up to about 3 hours over the week in the specific biome, then you should expect to be able to finish the event. That's just my opinion. I don't know how everyone else's average playtime is, but I don't have that much time outside of my travel to and from work to play the game, because I've got other commitments, one of which is making these videos, and I've got so many other things going on that I can't always dedicate hours and hours to playing the game. So again, this is just my opinion, but the rare monsters need a slight buff for their spawns, or maybe even a significant buff. So think back, things like the Leshen event, the Stingers event, these are the ones that we've had problems with previously, especially last week's Kikimor Warrior event. That seemed to me to be the worst to date. But again, that might be because my general travel doesn't take me near that specific biome. This week I've managed to get 3 so far today, just from my normal routes to and or from work, which does include quite a bit of travel past park-like areas. So that might be why I'm finding it semi-okay this week, but let me know your thoughts on this below. I personally really think that for the rare monsters there needs to be a bit of a buff in the spawn rate. But anyway, let's talk about this week's timed tasks on the Visimian Archespore. Okay, so we're going to start this week like every other week. We're going to read the in-game news. Monster Week, Visimian Archespore. Witcher, I'm certain that you've seen Archespores before, but this one, the Visimian Archespore, seems stronger and angrier than ever. I'm not sure we can defeat it without you. With this week's times tasks, grab your courage and polish your skills to get ready for this threat. With hard work, there are no limits. Remember, usually found in green areas, old-growth forests, woods, groves, and meadows. Can be most easily found in wetlands, such as swamps, as well as in the vicinity of rivers and other bodies of water. Prefers to avoid human settlements, and has a significantly increased activity during precipitation, such as rain. Now, that very closely matches up this week with what we would expect to see of that in the bestiary. So, as I said, I found 3 so far. It pretty much mirrors what we would expect here. Prefers to avoid human settlements, extra in rain, most easily found in wetlands. It's interesting that this one's both found in green places and wetlands. I personally haven't been down to the river yet to see if they're spawning more down there. It doesn't say whether it spawns during the day or at night, so presumably that's both, although all the ones I found so far were during the day. But yeah, so that's our how to hunt for the new monster. By the way, when you actually see this on my screen or in your own screen, or on your own screen, I think the coloring of this is so much prettier than on the original Archespore. I would even liken this as much to a shiny from Pokemon. It's my favorite change or variant of monster in the game so far. I really love the coloring on this one. Okay, so let's check out the time tasks. Kill 15 Visimian Archespores. Now, this is going to be difficult if you're not coming across them, but 15, I don't know, like even the Leshen event, they weren't spawning much, but you only needed 3 of each. You needed 3 Leshen Hounds and 3 Leshens, so 15 still seems like a big jump. I personally can't remember what the Stinger one was. I think that was also 3. Feel free to look back on my other video to see what that actually was, but I feel like they've also recently been significantly increased, so it's been made much more difficult. Sorry, where were we up to? Kill 5 monsters from the Cursed class without dealing any silver or fire damage. So I will show you that in a minute. I'll give you 2 examples of that, or just one. I'm not sure exactly what I've put down. No, there's 2 examples of that. Gather 50 units of powdered monster tissue. You guys know how to do that. It's all about making sure you've got inventory space before you defeat any monster. Craft 10 cursed oils. Now, this one is going to require a bit of defeating of other monsters at night, which reminds me I should start collecting those remains now. And those are going to be vampire remains. So if we look at what is required to craft a cursed oil, and we need to craft 10 of them, we need 5 vampire remains, so we need 50 in total. Alright, back to our time tasks. So that's craft the 10 cursed oils. Kill 3 Visimian Archespores after using a potion, an oil, a bomb, and a sign. And kill a Visimian Archespore in less than 20 seconds without dealing fire damage. Now, the one example that I've got is combining those 2 into one, because to kill something in 20 seconds, you're going to be needing to use some sort of buff anyway. So I like that they've decreased it from 30 seconds down to 20 seconds now, because last week we could do the 30 seconds one without having to use anything, so it wasn't a difficult challenge at all. So it's nice that they've made that one a little bit more difficult, but still not difficult. So that one you know how to do. Let's have a quick look at kill 5 monsters from the Cursed class without dealing any silver or fire damage. So this first example is actually a really bad example of how to complete the quest, but I'm giving it to you as an example because it works for completing the quest. So this is the first Visimian Archespore that I came across, and I decided I was just going to kill the first one because I need 15, and I'll worry about doing the videos for the other ones later. But I recorded it anyway, of course, and so yeah, this is just me killing the first one. But I did it using Melee, which is fire damage. And as you can see, I just also used 2 Igni spells, which are fire. And the fact that we're supposed to be killing this without silver or fire shows me that, well, this should not have worked. But this is the first one I've killed. I've not killed anything else. And if we have a look in my time tasks, I'd sort of sit here for a minute going, wait, what? Why? It's put up the counter for the kill 5 monsters, as well as my first Visimian Archespore. So you can do it like that, or you can do it like this. And this is my example of doing it properly. So any cursed monster, it doesn't have to be the Visimian Archespores, but you do have to do it without using a silver or fire. Now this one I did actually try defeating with the Melith Sword as well, and that didn't work. So it seems to be only the Visimian Archespores that it's bugged on, so you can just use whatever. But these ones, if you want to complete that part of the quest without doing it on the Visimian Archespores, then you can find any of these wild were-rats, were-rat warriors, regular Archespores, and you can just do it without using any silver or fire. So this one I can confirm works properly with the quest. If I did use silver or fire, it would not grant me the extra credit for killing that monster without it. So this should, I believe, be my 3rd, because there was one other Visimian Archespore that I killed in between. Yep, and so that's put up the meter for that. Alright, so that's it for the easy tasks. Now we go on to the slightly more difficult ones. Well, again, it's not really that difficult, it's just all about preparation. So kill 3 Visimian Archespores after using a potion, an oil, a bomb, and a sign. I actually attempted this earlier but forgot to throw the bomb, so it didn't credit it to me. Even though I put the bomb in my preparation, I didn't throw the bomb, so I was not credited with the kill for my time tasks. But we're going to be doing that quest as well as kill a Visimian Archespore in less than 20 seconds without dealing any fire damage. So the only extra thing that I had to pay attention to do both of these at once was to make sure I killed it without fire damage, and obviously as quickly as possible. But that's going to happen when we're using oils and potions anyway. So I'm going with the... I initially started off with the Manticore Steel Sword because I was confused and I thought that we had to do it without silver or fire like the last quest, but I do change that back to a Manticore Silver Sword in a minute. So this is just me looking through the potions, seeing if there's anything else that will benefit me, but no, I've just gone for the Thunder Potion, and we're going to of course use Cursed Oil. I could use Basic Oil, and I might do that for the other 2 requirements of just killing the monster with the oil. But I decided to go for the Cursed Oil on this one because it was more damage output and we're trying to do it in under 20 seconds. So there's me swapping back to the Silver Sword. Now in the bombs, it had 2 recommended bombs. The first one was the Moon Dust and the second one was the Dancing Star. Now we're avoiding using fire damage, so we're not going to use the Dancing Star. Whereas the Moon Dust does both, I think it is silver and kinetic damage. We're allowed to use silver, so that's fine. That was a very bad cast of Ard, but that's because my phone froze for a second and it missed the first part of this swipe. But yeah, we did that. It looked very quick and we're done. So that is the last 2 tasks and how to do them. Obviously you need to do 2 more with a potion, a bomb, an oil, and a sign, but we've just completed that last one. So yeah, the most time consuming task this week is going to be finding these monsters, and other than that, finding enough vampires to get all the vampire remains to make your cursed oils. So I'd really love to hear your thoughts on last week's time tasks, whether you finished them or not. My not finishing of them was kind of a protest because I'm sure Spocko keeps records of how many people actually finish each thing, and I wanted to purposely not do it, as well as the fact that I couldn't be bothered to actually go out and hunt for that long, in protest to say that you really need to increase the spawns on these. As a side note, I'd also really like the ability to purchase more bag space, because every single one of these times tasks gives me rewards, and my bag is already so full that I've got, where are we up to? So in my inventory, my items takes up 968 out of the 1,000 possible things, which only leaves me I would say 32 space for ingredients, but it doesn't, because I have 18 crafting stations as well. So that leaves me with 14 space for ingredients, of which most of them are almost always full. So I really would like the ability to be able to purchase more bag space in the shop. So if there's any way you can add that, that would be great. But I'm going to put that up on Reddit as well, which we should get a bit more attention. But anyway, thank you all for watching. Let me know your thoughts on both last week's and this week's in the comments below. And we'll catch you guys soon. See ya.